Hello, parents, families, guardians of students that are in my pre-calculus class. I'm Mr. Jameson. I have your student in pre-calculus. So welcome to this virtual back-to-school night. I hope this presentation helps clarify some things about how pre-calculus will run this year. And if there's questions, you can email me. My email will be at the very last slide, along with a Remind Messenger code. You could also use that. So let's get started. Course information. So students are going to access the course through Canvas, and Canvas is our learning management system. And they're going to access that. One link you can use is going to pps.net/student. So I put that up there, and that's the icon that it looks like. So Canvas houses everything that we're going to do except for grades. Grades will be in Synergy, and I'll go over that too. So what does Canvas look like for students each day? Essentially, every new day, there's a new module. And that word module is really just a packet of different items that they will complete each day. So I kind of took some screenshots here. You can see on Friday, the 18th of September, we had an agenda and a few different things that students had to work through. So they start at the top and they kind of work their way through. And you can actually see Thursday, the previous day, is right below it. So new days pop up at the top. How they get to that is there's a link on the left side. I put an arrow towards it for modules. I've limited what students can see and not see in Canvas to try to simplify stuff. So grades are kind of hidden on Canvas, even though that is a feature. So you might see that it looks a little bit different for pre-calculus versus maybe another class, right? So new module, new day, or new day, new module. And so that's Monday through Friday, they'll have something. All right, what do I use to help students learn? Well, I use Desmos is an app, and this is a screenshot of it. So it's very visual. Students can visually see some of the concepts that we're studying, in this case domain, with a piecewise function. GeoGebra is another app that I've used. Jamboard is something that connects with Google. And students have an email account that's connected to Google, so all of these can be accessed through that as well. So far, we've been using them, and they've gone really well. I can track to see how much progress they are making or not making. So it's a very helpful teacher tool. I'm sure I will have more than just those apps-wise. Textbook. Most of your students have already checked out this textbook. It's a really good textbook. It's practically brand new. So please make sure your student takes good care of it. Don't write in it, things like that. I know it's obvious, but they'll use that all year, a lot of times for homework assignments. And I always supplement the concepts that are in there too with my own notes. Here's an action item for you. So Remind is a messenger app where I can send out announcements to an entire class, or a student or parent could text me if there's like a question. So what you would do is to sign up, is you would text at B7A9AB to the phone number 81010, and it says it right there. So if you want to take a second and do that now, you can. You can pause the video if you need to, and that'll get you signed up. So how do you check your students' grades? I mentioned this before. All the grades are going to be in Parent View or Synergy. So there is a link there. Obviously, you can't click it in this video, but I did try to capture a quick URL from the district's website. If you wanted to copy that one into your browser, you could do that. There will be assignments and quizzes and things in Canvas that might have a number attached to it, but ultimately the grades that are going to count and the ones that you want to check are in Synergy. I'm pretty good about posting them in a reasonable time frame in a timely manner. Some feedback for students will come through Canvas still, but the numerical value for their grade will always be in Synergy. So how are the grades calculated? This is a completely new thing. So last year I had a completely different grading scale because we were in person. So I'm trying to figure out what the right thing to do is here, but we're going to do 20% of the grade is basically all the assignments, classwork, stuff that leads up to the 80% that supports the test. So 80% of the grade is the tests. In pre-calculus, they're going to take group tests and they're going to have 15 minutes of class time following that period. So they take it on, let's say they take their test on Monday, the next class period, they would have 15 minutes to revise. And we'll do that during the full group instruction, the synchronous time, which I'll go over in a second. So I just said group tests because I felt like they were going to be group in nature anyway. Again, it's completely unprecedented territory for me, so that's what we're going to do. Synchronous time versus asynchronous time. So here's the calendar I posted on my on Canvas, on my classroom in Canvas. Pre-calculus students in my class are in second period. So on Monday, they would meet full group from 10:40 to 11:55. So what that would mean is they would join my Zoom call. And the Zoom call link is on the home page. As soon as they click on my class in Canvas, there's a little welcome and there's a link to join the Zoom call. All right, so that's where they would do that on Monday. And I would take attendance through that. We'll go over that too. On Tuesday, there isn't a required Zoom call, but there is a requirement that they are doing some math. They're doing some assignment. So I will have posted something. I take attendance every day. So this Tuesday afternoon on Canvas, I'll have assignments and I can see whether or not students have accessed it and completed the assignment. That's what I'm using to track attendance. Wednesday, same kind of deal. It's in the morning. Optional Zoom call. If they want to jump on and ask me a question, they can. A lot of times students just send me an email or send me a message and remind to ask me questions. Thursday and Friday kind of work like Monday and Tuesday. So I try to color coordinate it. It's not like I'm not available outside of those times, but that's the traditional time. I made synchronous time read as just like those blocks that you see up top in the morning, and asynchronous time, I kind of just called independent work time. So I changed the wording around just to kind of make it simple. I think they might have called it applied learning. You may have seen it there. I just called it independent work time so that it might have used a language that students were more familiar with. If you have more questions about that, let me know. This might clarify as well. Attendance is taken for both asynchronous and synchronous days. So that's every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And in order to get counted as present within that 24-hour period, so on Monday, within those 24 hours, that is Monday, students need to either one of these things: attend a Zoom call, turn something in, which would be on Canvas, or communicate with me. That could be via email, phone, remind, some sort of communication that gets you counted as present. Now the goal really is completing some content, but things happen. So as long as they are communicating with me, or attending that Zoom call, or turning something in, they can get counted as present. I only mark them absent if one of those things does not happen within that 24-hour period. So some class agreements, some class norms that we came up with are fairly basic. In the full class Zoom meeting, we try to, the students control their own mic, they control their own video. Now we mute when we're not talking because it creates too much of an echo. Be respectful of others, it was a huge one. And then turn the video on when you're comfortable. So that students control that video and mic on their own. There might be a variety of reasons why they want that on or off at different times. We also created some norms around smaller groups. So when we go to breakout sessions, and that's where like 4 to 6 kids might be in some virtual breakout room, that they suggested having their mic on and talking with each other, turning their camera on when possible, makes more of a connection there. Being respectful, they listen and help each other, and then stay on task. All right. So those are the things we agreed on. And then I just wanted to reinforce the Franklin Strong acronym, just being thoughtful, respectful, organized, neighborly, and generous. We follow those things, we're going to be in good shape for the year. So what are we going to cover? What are we going to cover in pre-calculus? At a minimum, these items are all in the book, and I just listed out the chapters. So functions and their graphs, polynomial rational functions, exponential logarithmic functions, a lot of trigonometry. So there's kind of 3 little trigonometry units, and vectors. Now, some of this material they've covered in Algebra 3-4. There is some overlap there, so we just covered in more depth. and the examples and the problems we do are typically at a higher level than they've done before. And we'll just go further along. This will definitely prepare your student for calculus next year. It'll solidify a lot of different ideas that they've learned in all of their years of math so far, and we're just going to clarify all that. Hopefully, that's the way I like to view it. It really is a tough class because of the difficulty of the content. So keeping up on the assignments is extremely important. Extremely important. Ways you can contact me. So there's my email. And again, that Remind Messenger works. Parents, you can sign up. Guardian, you can sign up. Whoever needs to help track that student. And you can always message me if there's a question or concern. And I guess the last thing I would say is, I've taught this class. I think this is my 5th year teaching pre-calculus. It's my 8th year at Franklin. And I have it pretty organized so far. So I know the usual spots where kids get stuck. And I would just highly, 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 highly suggest following along with the suggested assignments, notes, things that I do. I tell the students the same thing because, again, it's a tough class. And so I'm really providing those hints. There's no trick questions. It's just I notice students struggle more when they're like, oh, I'm not doing the homework. I don't feel like I need to do it. Or they're not showing work or whatever. I give feedback and I help them along the way. So it's very important to have success in this class that you're just following my suggestions. I clear a pretty clear path for them, and it's worked. So I'm looking forward to this year, even though it's digital. I'm having fun so far. Reach out with questions, and I hope we have a great year. Thanks.